Yeah, if I can get my thing to turn back.
Wait, am I supposed to be here?
Are people there? Like,
I don't know, Huey. What time are you supposed to be here?
I don't know. I'm just here.
Maybe you can hang out if you want.
no, like
Are
are
we-
people like on the YouTube channel?
Is there a time thing? Because I really didn't pay attention to the time.
Yeah, I just I have nothing to do all day.
You're fine.
It's
You're
okay.
fine.
You can be in here.
The
Yeah.
topic is Mr. Potato Head. That's the first topic, and then
Honestly, it's kind of good that you're here, Huey, because we're a bunch of white people other than you in the store.
Yeah.
Diversity.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Charity live stream. Ryan, do you want to do an actual intro?
Hi. Welcome. I'm glad we're finally getting started with this. I don't know what else to say.
Well,
Should
we're
we go
raising.
around doing introductions?
Yeah, before we do that, real quick, we're raising money for Know Your Rights Camp. It's Colin Kaepernick's charity, their COVID relief fund specifically. Because as we all know, COVID is killing people and also making them broke and all sorts of things. And it's affecting people, people of color a lot more. So we figured we would do a charity live stream since it's Black History Month. Why not?
And I think we're going to have the link going up after the live stream too. So if you can't stay for the whole thing or if you have stuff to do, we have the Know Your Rights link in our TikTok bio for donations as well.
The link to donate for this charity stream is right in the description, I believe. And yeah, we'll definitely announce how much we make and donate. So I guess we'll go from left to right. Cog, do you want to start the introduction?
Yeah, sure. I'm Cog at Antifa Cog on TikTok, and I produce leftist content a lot of the time, talking about black and minority issues. But I'm no expert by any means. But I'm not really an expert on anything. I just like sort of taking conservative views and dunking on them a lot of the time. It's a lot of fun. A lot of you probably won't have seen my face before, but you might recognize my voice. That's fair enough. Donate, for God's sake, donate. These communities really need it at the moment. It's not just a situation of like not access to medical care. It's also a system of not being able to access infrastructure, and infrastructure is a big part of it. But I'm sure we'll talk more about the actual donation in a bit. Thank you. Sorry, that was a long introduction.
Good. Hi.
So,
Wait, am I to the right? Is it how I see it, or does everyone see it
go
differently?
ahead.
Okay. Hi, I am at Hungry Rye on TikTok. I make Satanist, feminist, and leftist content, and yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna keep it short.
Okay.
I'll keep it short too. Crazy Beard. I basically, at this point, I'm just a bully. I bully conservatives. A long time ago, I tried to be educational, and I tried to help people learn things. But now I wake up and I see all these dumb conservatives, and I just have to bully them. So yeah.
Okay. So I am Yellow Printy, Young Chomsky, Dr. Kwame Ture, and Professor Angela Davis on TikTok. The goal is to spread clips and quotes, and from these speakers, my real goal is to try to get their entire speeches online, because nobody's really going to watch an entire hour-long speech from them. So I'm trying to get as much of them on there as possible. And my real name is Kenny, so there's that. And then donate, please. Don't be stingy. You can give $2, whatever it is. You give $1. Don't be stingy. Okay, and that's it. Sorry, you can go. Or Huey.
My turn? You said it's my turn?
Go, Huey.
Somebody go.
I'm Huey. I'm not really a TikToker like that. But I do post random videos I find online occasionally, and I do a lot of work trying to bring awareness to what the U.S. is doing in Africa with AFRICOM and the French military in Africa, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
All right.
That's actually something I've been wondering about. Is like what I'm doing in Africa right now, but I didn't know the French are still there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess I'm next. I'm Star the Tankist. I'm an artist who does little doodles, and I might over the doodle I might explain some about communism. The doodle might be some showing the explanation, and I hope to incorporate art with explaining socialism. And I'm working on further projects in the future. I think that's it. Find me.
Cool. I guess that's everybody. So yeah, remember there's a donate button down there. All profits go to Know Your Rights Camp. So I think Cog had something he wanted to share, and we were going to make fun of some conservatives to start off with.
And lighthearted.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is going to be interesting. So some of you may be familiar with some discourse that's gone on recently around a character from Toy Story. Actually, I think it was a brand before it was a Toy Story thing. But, let's have a look at this.
Cancel culture claims its newest victim. There will be no more Mr. Potato Head, only Potato Head. Hasbro has decided to do this to promote gender equality. Let's take a sneak peek at their newest release. Ah, yes, very progressive. But jokes aside, pretending that boys and girls do not exist is not promoting gender equality. It does nothing. Cancel culture claims its newest victim. There will be no more Mr. Potato.
Sorry, I didn't mean to let that play twice. Cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I didn't know it was cancel culture. We're canceling. Okay, we're canceling Mr. Potato Head.
Can we
I think
just
it's interesting.
real potato heads like Republicans?
Yeah, we can have a Tucker Potato Head.
I told him a bully now. Like,
Well, like they always say that like if there's a gender neutral, that means we're erasing boys and girls. But like, I'm pretty sure nobody said that. I don't remember. I've never argued that. I've never.
It's like attacking a different point rather than addressing the point at hand. They're
They
just like,
just
oh, they're
terrify
trying to
them.
erase them.
They just don't understand gender neutral people or like non-binary people, and that terrifies them.
Yeah, or that like gender is a social construct, especially if we can attribute it to a plastic vegetable toy for children. Like it's the end of the world.
look, I'm just gonna be honest. As a diabetic, potatoes raise my blood sugar, and I mean, so do Republicans.
So it's a good thing they're canceling it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a stupid joke.
Literally, it is a children's toy that was literally just you putting an eyeball on an actual potato. Which
That's the thing. Like the other thing is like it usually will come with like all the different things. You can make it a Mrs. or Mr. or just put them on there. It's a fucking potato.
That's the interesting thing about capitalism. It's like this is the innovation we're talking about. You just grab a potato and put random.
The actual point of Mr. Potato Head was like I think it was like Great Depression thing where it's like, yeah, you can't really make a toy, so we'll give you like these little like parts, and you have to get actual potato.
Ah,
Yeah,
Well, what's really funny is they're actually saving money now because they're only going to make one toy instead of two. So really, the people that win in this is Hasbro. They're going to make more money.
No, I promise that was part of the pitch. That was part of the pitch in the boardroom. They were saying, "Hey,
Probably.
Yeah,
Yep,
and they
same
knew.
thing happened with Nike when they
Yeah,
burned them all.
exactly.
They bought them to burn them at times. So someone's gonna buy Mr. Potato and then like destroy it. He's like, "Thank you for buying."
And it's also ironic because last summer, people were rightfully so bringing up criticisms about Aunt Jemima, and all those Republicans are like, "Oh, it's just a damn syrup." Now people are like, "Oh, take away my gender identity."
My favorite thing was they were arguing like, "Oh, she made so much money off this." Aunt Jemima did. Like,
No, she did not.
It's owned by a white. It's owned by a white
It's
man.
about white man. The same thing with like Uncle Ben's rice or whatever it was.
Did they fix that one? I can't remember.
it's still Uncle Ben's.
Mm.
It's still Aunt Jemima.
Uncle Ben.
They haven't actually changed. They just
That's true. Like the Land O'Lakes thing, where they took out the
They
lady
did that.
singing, and they still left the.
Yeah, no, the Indian is gone. The Native American is gone off the Land O'Lakes. My mom was like, "That was the only reason I bought that butter," and I was like, "Okay, what?"
Wait, what?
So that's what he said.
Yeah,
Mom,
she was like,
I
like,
didn't know you
"I
were.
can't believe they took it off. That was the only reason I bought it." Okay, that's weird, but whatever you say.
that makes me question like your motives in
Like,
life.
You
Yeah,
should
Do
see
you
your
ever
mom.
like see packaging like this and you see them make like these progressive changes and they're like, look what we're doing. We're taking this. And it's like, what does it really do for like any of like the real deeply seated issues? Like when it comes to like making a gender neutral toy or like girl boss
Okay,
Barbie.
okay,
Like
but here's the thing: when you're a business, it's like, okay, how do we get black people to buy our stuff, and how do we do that without avoiding helping those Negroes?
like black people were already buying that syrup. I mean, like, did you avoid Aunt Jemima because she was on there? Like, I just
Nah,
don't
it
know.
tastes good.
I don't actually think I ever got that syrup as a kid.
But like, is that
No,
why?
really?
I
I
think we
really
always used Miss Buttersworth, but that's just as bad, honestly.
I grew up on Aunt Jemima. It's
I mean, that's
delicious.
what I buy, but like, I don't know. It's
Like
good.
Miss Buttersworth actually used to be like woman shaped. I think the bottle used to be
Used to be what?
like shaped like the woman.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing
yeah.
something
You
like
know
that.
what? No, I had that one. So yeah.
But Star kind of touched on the point, which I think is more like there is like the the point isn't that they really think they're doing something, because I don't think they really think they're doing something. I don't think they think it changes something from the perspective of black and brown people and makes them more likely to buy their products. I think it's a very cynical thing of like, they know that Cam Higby is going to react like this. They know that to his 1.5 million followers on TikTok, he's going to be going, Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Potato Head. And then when they see that toy in the shop with their kid, they're going to be, thinking, oh, that's a familiar toy. You know?
It just sucks though, because like we could be spending our energy on so many better things. Like I know last year when the whole Aunt Jemima thing came up, we were still dealing with all the police brutality and things. And obviously, as a white man, I have no place in saying what the next move is, but I think police brutality is put pretty high on that list.
It was like during the middle of those protests, just like diverting attention to that.
Because we still have a police brutality problem, make no mistake.
I don't know if anything. I don't know if any laws were passed. Like anything. Like,
What are you?
Speaking of, for anybody who just joined, we are raising money for charity for Black and Brown communities. Links down below. It's for Know Your Rights Camp. As we all know, Black and Brown communities have been hit by COVID like 10 times harder than any other community. Because they primarily work in things like restaurants and industries that had to shut down. That is still affecting us today. So if you have a dollar, have 10 cents, whatever it may be, link down below. Did anyone look into Know Your Rights Camp any further?
Not really. But I was actually wondering if those protests like resulted in any like laws being changed.
The BLM protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, some districts it did. Yeah, in some
There was
districts.
some in
it did.
California.
Yeah.
Because I know Houston said "fuck y'all." Houston didn't do a goddamn.
Yeah, it depends on the one. It depends on some of them, but some of them actually did have an effect. I think the importance is to have it continually going, and there will always be like somewhere it just does not always have a large effect.
Because I saw
Later on
Benjamin
tonight,
Politics had a video, and he was saying that BLM was making it worse. He was arguing that like these videos increase the police shootings. These protests made things worse for everybody.
That's literally like that's literally like the same argument.
Has anyone here
So-
played the game called the Outer Worlds before?
No.
It's basically
I've
what
heard
would
of it.
happen if Benjamin Politics was in charge of the world. It's Ancapistan.
Like,
Oh yeah, Space and
Wait, is this
Capistan.
just Benjamin politics slander?
Yeah, he's the first. No one like.
Wasn't he the one that was like Kyle Rittenhouse good?
yeah,
Yeah.
Most
his whole
likely.
argument is shut up and the free market will fix things. Like, no, it won't. And it
And
never.
Cap moment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
There's no such thing as a free
I don't know,
with their
Ben. Did the
mentality.
free market fix your relationship when you turned your girlfriend there?
Here's the problem with their
Oh, God.
mentality is ironically, some of them talk about responsibility and like not wanting to like own up to stuff, but that the ANCAP mentality is literally like not caring about the effects and responsibility of some, because when I asked one of the ANCAPs like, oh, okay, what happens if some companies away? It's like, how do you prevent that? Well, they get sued and they go out of business. Like, okay, but would they have enough money to go through the lawsuit and you still get a
Yeah,
town
it shows
poison?
like the basis of their ideology is not empathy, it is profit.
Right.
Even then, like they keep arguing. They always say that like it will not be profitable to do these things, or like it will somehow like other companies will be able to take advantage of their failures if people don't like those companies, they just won't buy from them. Like I
I
cannot
mean,
like
Yeah,
Walmart no matter what. I'm sorry.
but it's
And
their
then
but that
ideology.
voting with your dollar.
They,
and
they,
that
they,
doesn't
Everything.
and that doesn't work with a. I think it was you who talked about it, Antifa Cog, about I forgot if it was you or someone else who talked about like like basic. I forgot what it's called, basic monopolies or whatever. Some like energy companies. I forgot who talked about it, but yeah, energy companies are something that's hard to actually like have several. So it does. So they have to go to them no matter what.
yeah,
Yeah,
their ideology is weird because like they want profit, but you need like corporations are like getting the most profit by using the state, but like you want to get rid of the state, so you're not really going to get that profit because like imperialism won't be as possible as it is with the state.
Because that's the thing. So like Benjamin Politics had that video. He stitched Southern's video, and he said that Marxism was like flat Earth. And I was like, okay, people take Marxism more seriously than ANCAPs. I promise.
And
Like
you know what's funny about that too? Like our ideology exists outside of TikTok. His really doesn't.
And,
It's just
yeah,
people take
ANCAPs.
Marxism seriously. Like in
not
academia,
fair.
even in economics, they take.
ANCAPs only really exists in
TikTok.
so in like in country wise, like they exist in America, but they're not like an actual movement. And they also they existed in South America because actually after COVID, a bunch of the like capitalist libertarian types just in South and Central America just fucked off.
Well, yeah, because they have a very weak state. That's what
What is
happened.
praxis for ANCAPs? Do they believe in praxis at all? Or is it
I
just because
Oh,
it's voluntary?
Make a business.
that's
Are they
their
reformist? Because I've only heard of
Not
like
really.
right wing revolutionaries are usually like
They're
fascist,
not really
fascist.
reformists.
right? And like
They
So
really
it's
don't
like
have like a real thing. I think at best they
that's
kind of just want to put it out there, but they don't really have like anything to like.
because
Okay,
I
I
don't
put
think
it out
Murray,
here,
though.
but
I
what are
don't
we
think
gonna
Murray
do with
Rothbard was
what I put
actually
out here?
like Murray Rothbard never actually advocated for abolishing the state. Like nobody really argues for
Hmm.
that at all.
It's weird the degree to which it's true here in the UK, but it's also I think possibly worse in some ways in the US. This sort of meritocratic discourse that has like infected everything and the way that people think about their, particularly their taxes. That's the weird one I find. I might disagree with some of you on this, but the whole taxation is theft thing, it doesn't work for me because of taxation theory. Like taxation theory is basically, um, I don't own everything that I own because to some degree the state, for example, in the UK paid for my education. Um, I owe the state for that, but it goes down even to the fundamentals of like the state creates a structure for money. Without without a stable system of money, you don't own any money. I don't care what you own, you don't own any money. Without a stable like currency, and I'm sorry, Bitcoin is not the answer. Um, but in terms of like um, uh, this kind of discourse, I wanted to just talk briefly about the CDC. If you go on the CDC website and look up the impact of black and brown, the impact on black and brown communities that the pandemic has had, um, they talk about quality of life outcomes. And then they say that their aim is that everyone has a fair opportunity to be as healthy as possible. Can you see what's wrong with that terminology? A fair opportunity to be as healthy as possible, not like a right to be as healthy as possible, but like a fair opportunity. It's like we would be okay if it became a competition after that point. I don't want that.
That's interesting because like the Know Your Rights campaign, one of the rights they want you to know is that you have a right to be healthy, Not that you have a right to a fair opportunity to be healthy. It's the right to be healthy.
Because it's
So
not
it's
true.
like,
Not everybody has the same opportunity to be healthy. Like people that work in the service industry, the people that work in the retail industry, they're constantly interacting with people. Besides
So-
somebody else that could work at home, it's completely different.
The
So real
lowest
quick,
level of like the vaccine, like wait times in each state, everywhere I've seen, like they're like not on the top priority for vaccine.
They're not.
Like, no, it's like teachers and like nurses and stuff, which like makes sense. But you see people that have been working the entire pandemic that aren't until like the
essential
very
workers
end.
are phase 1B, but it's at the bottom of 1B.
Well, it's like,
Mhm.
Real
they
quick,
on their
I just had a
phone?
DM from somebody asking how they can help if they can't donate. If you can't donate, just share the stream. If you can, get a few more eyes to it, that's great. Because at the end of the day, we're only going to be able to raise as much as we have people. And I don't know if we've raised anything quite yet. But as soon as I know that, I will let you guys know.
Even looking into your own local like mutual aid place and see if you can volunteer if you can.
That too, yeah. I mean, even if you just, well, actually, that's probably even better than donating to a live stream, because there's people in need everywhere. One of our guests later, tnathan lokius, twice a month, he actually cooks meals for people who happen to be homeless, which I actually really like. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but he specifically calls on people who happen to be homeless instead of homeless people, because homelessness is a condition and it's not who you are.
Because that's another discourse that really pisses me off is like this idea that there's people who just enjoy being homeless. They enjoy the lifestyle of living on the streets. Like that might be like half a
Or-
percent of people who are
Or
homeless.
at
That's
least,
such
or at least
bullshit.
they're satisfied enough to be homeless. There's
They are not like that's such bullshit. Maybe if they are, they probably have some kind of mental illness. They're probably drug addicts. Like nobody just enjoys eating out of a dumpster. I'm sorry, they just don't. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And it really makes it because I'm from Houston, and Houston has a seriously awful homeless problem, and that's one of the.
Well, didn't you hear it, Penny? You guys voted for it. Like according
That's
to
true, we
Marcus,
did.
you
Yeah,
guys
no,
voted for it. So
yeah,
it's
you're
all
right.
your fault. Y'all should just die and
When there are stimulus on TVs, that's the problem. Because they went whenever they got their stimulus, they went and spent it on TVs and such. So that's the real issue. That
yeah,
one,
how dare they? How
one
dare they
check
want comfort?
we got. Did
I
homeless
find it
people-
frustrating. They'll be like, "Oh, you just need to get a job," and it's like, "Well, how are they supposed to apply for these jobs? They don't have a phone. They need like a bus, so they have to be able to make sure they can make the bus time, like wherever that. There's so many factors that go into it that like
It's
people
like,
just don't
you
take
get-
into consideration.
all they
Well,
need
even-
to
even like a
is
clean
get
shower.
a haircut, get a job, just magically have resources.
Because there's a charity here that just provides showers and clothes
Yeah.
for people getting an
Uh,
interview. So even that's major.
Yeah, no, there are charities that do that. No, there's
Here-
even charities that will provide like a temporary suit for people. Like nice clothes for them to go to the interviews, that kind of thing.
And people think this way because there are people who are homeless, who were homeless, who got into some like high position or some high paying job, but they never like put in like the extra fats on top of it. Like, oh, you can be poor and make it to like the richest, and they'll like bring up someone like they'll show like a picture of Bill Gates or something, and there's a comment that I keep on getting replies to on TikTok where it's just like, oh, where it shows like a picture of Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Steve Jobs is like, oh, see, they came from the bottom. It's like Bill Gates' father
First,
was like
they did it.
was
If you
Bill
look at-
Gates'
Like Bill Gates' father was a lawyer, and like his
lawyer.
mom-
His mother was like an executive for like IBM or something. Zuckerberg's parents were like a dentist and a psychiatrist.
Bill Gates
Um,
went to a middle school where they had a computer lab in the early '80s.
yeah,
Are you
both of them.
joking?
Yeah,
Like,
both of them went to like some kind of private school. The only exception was Jobs, but even then he was well off enough.
there are people that were poor that like brought themselves up into that levels, but like they're the exception. They're the exception that proves the rule. They're not like that doesn't prove that anyone can do it. That's not what that means.
survivorship bias is particularly bad though when it comes to Barack Obama. Like people do point at the president of the U.S. and go, or the former president of the U.S. Excuse me. I'm still 10 years ago in my head, but former president of the U.S. and go, well, a black man made it all the way to the top of the most powerful country in the world. That means racism is over, and you have to kind of
Debunked.
point out, you kind of have to point out that actually Barack Obama went to a high school. I don't know what the term is correctly, but I think it'd be about high school age in the UK. Went to a place, I'm going to call it a sixth form, that was that only had 3 other black students in it in the whole institution.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Well, it's really funny too because people love to say that, but what did we do right after him? We went right back to a white guy. Where are we now? We're right back
Trump
to
was
a
a
white
reaction to that. That's exact. Trump was a reaction. It's the reactionaries took power because of that. They were so pissed off for 8 years. You had the Tea Party. You had all those right wingers that were just so pissed off because he was a socialist and all these things. But he never did anything remotely socialist.
Speaking of
Literally,
socialism, aren't you guys really happy about Comrade Biden? I mean, he's doing such a great job.
Yeah, Obama's
I was watching the news this morning, and they paused the broadcast. I was watching. It was like the morning news. They paused the broadcast, and they were like, "The president is about to speak about the bill they passed in the House." He spoke for literally 30 seconds, and that was it. He came up and said a couple words, and then ran away. Like it's a fucking joke.
But he's doing great though, right? Like he's bombing Syria.
Oh, that was a good. I saw a tweet that said it was from a liberal, and it said like, "Man, that was such a quiet attack. There was no there. It was so much different under Biden. There was no
Oh
drama.
yeah, wasn't it like Wagatway that like posted
Something like
that? I
that.
think that's the yeah.
It's just the
it's
same old,
girl.
same
It's
old.
like
way.
the ooh,
It's like,
drives
okay,
me crazy.
This time our imperialism comes with Black Lives Matter stickers. That's all.
and
Hey,
they,
but we're gonna push him left. Okay.
Until
Yeah.
you're like, oh, the detention centers that they're like reopening for the unaccompanied minors.
Yeah, aren't they not,
You
like,
mean the
kid
migrant
centers or
housing
some shit like
facility?
that now?
Yeah, they're reopening
okay,
the one that was open for a
so
month.
in Texas, people have been talking shit about those for the last 20 years because I know people that work in those detention centers, and they have been saying since before Obama. Under Bush, they would saying like they're overcrowded, we don't have enough resources, they're just packed in there, but no one said a goddamn thing.
So real quick, just talking about the live stream again. I am live streaming on the Vanguard's account too. So everyone who's on here, do know that our YouTube is up, and if you want to donate, there's a link in the YouTube there. We're raising money for Know Your Rights Camp, their COVID relief fund specifically, because we know that it's hit Black and brown communities more than anywhere else. And this pandemic's still going on. I think it was last month that we hit over 500,000 deaths in the United States.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not even close to being done. The good news is it's starting to go down a little bit because of vaccinations, but like in my place, they're still on 75 and older. It probably will be a few months before I get vaccinated. What you guys?
Yeah, my university's planning to go back in person this fall too. So,
Are they going to vaccinate you first?
I mean, I hope so.
Hopefully by the fall that will be okay. I'm optimistic that by the fall schools will be to open normally. I don't know. I'm just kind of optimistic that that'll be safe by the fall, but we'll
Has
see.
anyone else?
That's too optimistic.
Right. Has anyone else here had it? Had the first shot of the vaccine? Or am I
No,
alone?
I'm not on the list.
Yeah, you're
Well,
alone.
God, remember, you live in a less savage country than we do.
They don't let us. I
Arguably.
may not be allowed to go get it. Like
Arguably, yes. I mean,
In some areas.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
depends
we'll
on what it
see. I think, I think a lot of your problems stem from problems we created. In fact, I think most of them. Yeah, I want to talk about. In relation to donating. Remember that it is not. It's also a problem of infrastructure, which is also insurance, childcare, transport, and history. It is a lot of funding needs to be put towards putting the trust of black and brown people back in the health services after a very long and ragged history of doing horrible things to black and brown people and allowing medical services to exploit them. The Tuskegee syphilis experiment is the one that leaps to mind. I don't know if somebody wants to talk about
And
that.
yeah, and having more people in these, more people of color in these medical fields, because you get medical racism.
Mhm.
Yeah, even in the textbooks, there's that. Like someone like posted on Twitter like a picture of their textbook, and it was talking about the different ways different races feel pain or something like that.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah,
like,
and because
they like to tough through it or something like that. It was just bullshit.
yeah, and because of that, you see the studies are basically showing that I forgot what the percentage is. I think it's like a 50% higher chance that if you have a if you're black or just not white, if your doctor is white, there's like a 50% more chance that the child will die.
which is just
Oh
fucking.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like in childbirth for sure.
And it's
like,
also, I think it's 43% of African Americans said they won't get the COVID shot right away. At least,
they have good reason not to trust them. Like,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't
Because like Cog mentioned, there's been terrible experience.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was like
about
it was like a
Tuskegee
40-year
thing.
experiment.
Huey, do you know anything about that?
Wait, the Tuskegee thing was
Syphilis.
in the early 30s. There was it was an experiment, not experiment. It was a study called like Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, and they had like over 600 black men participate in this study without their informed consent, and the researchers saying like they had bad blood, and that meant anything really, but they didn't say anything about syphilis or anything like that. So it went on for 40 years.
Yep.
It was supposed to last 6 months, but it went on for 40 years. So it ended in like the early 70s. And
Crazy.
they didn't treat it right. They just like let it progress.
Yeah, they didn't treat it. Yeah.
yeah.
That was
And
the
that's
whole
something
deal.
that always like bums me out when I realize just how recent all this stuff is. Because growing up, I was always told, "Oh, this all happened many, many years ago." But I just
Oh,
Yeah,
unrelated,
like even
unrelated to
well,
like black issues. It's just in general. What was that? No. It still kind of ties into it. The cocaine. When the cocaine thing was exposed, where they were basically selling cocaine to like black communities, and then sell the money
the
off to
CIA
like the
thing.
Congress
Crack?
or whatever.
Talking about
Yeah, the
crack?
crack.
Oh,
Yeah,
in
the
the
crack.
80s? Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Except for no, I found out that it wasn't exposed until like early 2000s. I think
It
like it
wasn't.
wasn't fully.
And white people still deny it. Like, because
Yeah.
tons of people in the black community, they first of all, they lived through it. They lived through. They saw what was going on. And but like, if you talk to most white people, they'll say, "Oh, it's just a nonsense conspiracy," but like, it
It
happened.
was. Is it for the
Since
person's?
conspiracy,
Yeah,
yet they follow Q.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was basically
like,
exposed.
devil worshipping pedophiles is more realistic.
It was.
all right. So
I
let's
believe.
jump on
I
real
believe
quick.
that was exposed in 2002, and then 2004, the man who exposed it committed suicide, quote unquote,
Really?
with two gunshot. With he committed suicide, quote
Well,
unquote, with to the head.
So one of our members is saying that we're coming in kind of low on YouTube.
is that better?
Tyler,
The
I don't,
volume?
I don't know if you can do anything about that, Tyler, Mister.
Like our mic.
Yeah,
Person might just have the volume set lower for
I don't know
the other
exactly. What
users.
to do.
Two shots to the head suicide.
it sounds normal.
Yeah, right.
And then the New York Times had to apologize because almost every news network was like, "Oh, we're sorry," because it was just so much evidence for it. They had to like admit it.
Just to add on the last thing about the syphilis study, and when penicillin was like used to treat syphilis at the time, the researchers didn't provide it at all to like the patients that had syphilis, so they just let it go.
It's
Yes,
crazy.
they're saying that my mic is the one that they can hear.
On my page talked about like they don't trust insurance, like they don't want a like single payer insurance because of that. That's one of the reasons they were like they didn't want like Medicare for all or whatever. So it's like a real problem that we need to address somehow.
So Tyler, I don't know if you're still listening to us or not, but if you can turn the mic up for everybody, that'd be awesome. And I guess while we're doing that, just another Sorry to be the crier of the charity, but that's why we're here. Donation link down below. We are raising money for COVID relief for Black and Brown communities. It's the group founded by Colin Kaepernick, so I'm pretty sure it's legitimate. I'm not a sports guy. I'm not legally allowed around sports because I speak Klingon. But even I know Colin Kaepernick's a good dude.
Do you really speak Klingon, or is that a joke?
Partially. I mean, I'm a little rusty, but Iwik Vinik, I want wine.
I mean, they teach it on Duolingo, so
Yeah,
it
no, you can learn that at university now. You can go and learn Klingon.
My goal was to learn Klingon and then get certified as a marriage license person and then do gay weddings.
Star Trek weddings. I've never actually watched Star Trek. Is it worth watching? Because I'm a Star Wars.
Yes.
So start with DS9, especially because you're a socialist. DS9 is the best. Captain Sisko, oh my god, I love that man. He has to deal with so much shit, and there's so many times you can just look at his face where he's like, man, I wish I could punch this motherfucker out. And there's an episode where his son is trying to buy him a baseball card, and he's talking to one of his alien friends, which is a Ferengi, right? And they're ultra capitalists. And the Ferengi's like, well, why don't you buy this baseball card with your own money? And he's like, Nog, I'm a human. We don't have money. God, I wish I could live in that society.
I wish we could get public utilities, public insurance. I mean, the smallest thing, something.
But imagine not having money, though. Oh my god.
We will never see that.
Space socialism.
Okay, most Americans won't have to imagine not having money. They'll not have plenty of money soon. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Cog, I'm curious how it is being over in the UK and seeing us talk about healthcare and how much we have to pay. Is it strange hearing that?
Bizarre. It's utterly bizarre. It's question it's just unquestioned. Here in the UK, everyone thinks so much so that the Conservative government has here in the UK has over the course of 10 years had to quietly privatise the NHS by stealth, and they've been trying to do it for a very long time. But it's such because there's it's sometimes called the sacred cow of British politics. It's the sort of protected. Now that I think of it, that's probably quite a racist term. Sorry, I didn't even think about that, but I didn't even think about the etymology behind that. But it probably is quite racist. But it is a phrase that is often used in the UK. It's sort of the protected thing within UK politics that the Conservatives have to be careful with it, and the Labour government have to be careful with it. Even the Brexiteers, who we know don't believe in it, had to sort of pander to the NHS with do you guys know the £350 million for the NHS bus thing? That must have made it over to the US.
No, we were doing
really.
No?
British.
I've heard of it.
Any news outside of America?
Oh, okay. So I've got some news for you guys. So first of all, so there was during the Brexit campaign there was a bus that went about that said, I will try and pull it up if I can. It said, we spend £350 million a week on EU membership. Let's spend it on the NHS instead. And it was to campaign for Brexit. And as soon as Brexit was done, the Brexiteers all started saying, but it said let's. It was only a suggestion. And that became the line. It was only a suggestion. So this is and it's the same thing with the Democrats and the $1,400 stimulus checks, the 2,000.
It was 2,000.
Yeah, it's like rhetorical tricks that destroy your trust in politicians. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
They do that all the time. That's all the time.
It's one of those things, right? Trusting a politician is almost like trusting a scorpion not to sting you. You know that old adage of the scorpion fucking the frog across the river? It's in their nature. They're going to fuck you over no matter what. It's just how they are.
I don't like how the Democratic Party utilizes I'd poll to bring people in. And they were like, oh, look, we have these, and tokenize these marginalized groups, and oh, we have this over here, but then what their policies that they're pushing for are they're so bad.
One of the worst ones. That was one of the Kamala Harris was more tokenized than any politician I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when Biden's like, hey, I'm gonna pick a black woman to run. I'm like, well, why don't you
very early too.
Actually, Why don't you go for equality over that? Because I mean, yes, representation 100%, but like you're gonna die in like 2 years, so it's kind of important.
So he put a former DA to take his spot if he does die. That gives me a lot of hope.
You know what they say? The U.S. is run by lawyers.
Yeah, 100%. I would love to see what percentage of our government are lawyers. I'm sure it's huge.
I'm gonna Google that right now.
I hope that there isn't a case where Kamala Harris runs the country because I mean, she has a very bad record of.
No, Kamala Harris is a communist. That's what they're saying on conservative radio
Based?
days. They say that Joe Biden's not a socialist. He's not a communist. Don't worry about him. But he has dementia. So it's really Kamala who is the far left socialist who's really going to be running the government.
Parents
Yeah, let's
of
talk about
Marxists.
conspiracy theories for Republicans. We all know about QAnon, right?
Well, so that's a long. So I listen to conservative radio pretty often, and that's like a long running conspiracies that these communists or socialists that are like running our government, and it's so funny to me because to call Kamala Harris a socialist, like, it's just absolutely insane. Like they called AOC a Stalinist. Somebody on Twitter called AOC a Stalinist.
Okay, I need to address this. If you think there's a thing as a Stalinist, there's not. As somebody who read everything that Joseph Stalin has ever written, there's
But
no
if you
such
Google it, it
Okay,
exists.
okay. There's a technicality. Hojus.
thing. We're just Marxist.
Hojus. I know, but Hojus unironically want to call themselves that. So I guess.
I mean, they also want to build bunkers everywhere, so.
The bunkers are not a bad idea, though.
I mean, like, it's just so annoying because you have like usually ANCOMs that use the term Stalinist, and it's just like it's not a thing. It's just Marxist-Leninism.
The thing to me is like nobody in the U.S. In the U.S., we really do like democracy. No one in the U.S. is going to advocate for some totalitarian state. I don't know any Marxist-Leninist that like is dying for this totalitarian state. Like no one.
Now,
The USSA.
Okay, well, I'm down for having a United States. What is it? The United States Socialist Republic. We can be the USSR again.
If you made me general secretary for a day, my first move, I'd be putting a lot of people in gulags.
Oh, if we're putting like Jeff Bezos and company up in the gulags, that's one thing.
And all of Fox News, all of them.
Tucker Carlson's going away for life. We'll never see him again.
Yeah,
and that's fine. That's not Stalinism though.
We're gonna turn him into Soylent Green.
I mean, we did stuff like that in the 30s too. Like, we put communists in jail in the 20s. We put gays in jail in the 20s. Like, that's what we did. Like, that's.
Did you know that they were still castrating gays in England till like 1950, something like that?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if Cog knows the exact number, but it was like 1950 or something like that.
Yeah, I know. I think it was into the 60s because after the war.
I think it was the 70s, but okay.
Or was it? I thought it was
late 60s.
I used to know.
Okay, yeah, maybe like 60s.
With, defending Stalin because everyone always likes to say, "Oh, Stalin had gay people." So did literally everyone else back then.
I imagine you're thinking of Alan Turing, and I imagine that's who you're thinking of. That's usually what people think of because he's usually the biggest known gay figure, particularly in World War II history. I wondered if I might draw the conversation away to something that's been happening in British politics that you may have missed, but might have quite a significant impact on black and brown communities, particularly if it takes off as a precedent. So, do any of you know the name Shamima Begum? Does that mean anything to any of you?
No, but it sounds hilarious.
Can you repeat that name?
Sorry?
Can you repeat the name?
Shamima Begum.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you saying Shamima Begum?
Yeah, so Shamima Begum was a
Oh yeah. I know. Never mind.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. How much can you remember about it?
She like left the UK, went to join ISIS.
Oh, okay.
Every time now.
She's not allowed to return.
She's
right?
not allowed to return. The government took an ad hoc decision to strip her of citizenship because she can technically claim Bangladeshi citizenship. Even though she's never been to Bangladesh. She is a British citizen. She was born in Britain, raised in Britain. She was groomed, and I think that's an important point, groomed as a young British girl She was groomed into extremism as a child in the UK. If
She was
people are saying
15.
importantly, if it had been a white girl who had been taken to another country, groomed as an extremist, her child was allowed to die. The British state allowed her child to die, rather than take her back and try her here. Because there's a couple of different angles to take on this. First of all, if a Syrian resident came to the UK, joined a terrorist group, and then we said, and then Syria said, you know what? I don't think we like that. I think we're going to ban her from coming back, and she can stay in the UK. People would be up in arms. People would be like, the Syrian state has to take her back. She is ultimately our responsibility to deal with, but it goes slightly deeper than that because it sets a precedent. First of all, stripping somebody of their citizenship is a violation of the 15th article of the United Nations Declaration on Human Rights, and also the 1954 Convention on Statelessness. It's very illegal under international law, and the reason for that is so that you don't have a dual legal system. Because if you think about what's happened now, is people with dual nationality, particularly black and brown people, and actually she didn't even have dual nationality, she could just potentially claim dual nationality. Anybody who can't claim to be anybody who is not a first generation immigrant, if that makes sense. No, sorry. Anybody who doesn't have like a family history in this country is now at risk, because if you can do that for one group, what else can you do that for? If somebody commits, for example, a crime of like rape or something, and then you start doing it for rape cases, and then you start doing it for example, with drug offences, suddenly you're able to strip people of their citizenship, and it creates what Ernst Frankl would have described as a dual legal system, which is what totalitarian states are defined by. A system where if you're one type of person, you get treated one way by the legal system, and if you're another type of person, you get treated another way, which should sound very familiar to you Americans.
Mhm.
So why can she claim Bangladeshi citizenship? Was her like husband Bangladeshi?
No, sorry. Her, I think it was her father was Bangladeshi, but she has never been to Bangladesh. But Bangladesh has a universal rule that all of the first generation immigrants elsewhere in the world can claim Bangladeshi citizenship.
It's just
but the
dependent on
UK
which
courts-
country your nationality is, right?
Yeah, and it massively depends
That's
on
scary.
what your ethnic background is. Because I doubt it would happen to a white person, by the way.
No, I mean it wouldn't.
We're coming up on the last 13 minutes of this hour. Doesn't look like we've raised anything yet, so I wanted to go ahead and put a challenge out there. If anyone wants to go ahead and start their donations, up to $25, I'll match it. So if anyone wants to go ahead and do the thing, I will throw in $25 later on. So somebody donate. Link
How
below.
many people are on the stream right now?
We had like 11 last time I checked.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
we had
I
11.
wonder if the U.S. would ever do something like that to, because like I technically can get Ghanaian. I can get citizenship in Ghana. I wonder if they like strip my citizenship in America.
I can see them doing something like that for Hispanic people from Central America, from South America. If people coming here if your parents came here from Honduras or Mexico, I mean, I can see that happening. And that's kind of what's
It'd be
happening.
so easy for them to do it.
Well, I mean, the U.S. has literally done that to people who are like U.S. citizens, never been to Mexico, and I think they were like literally I think they were like multiple generations separated from Mexico, and they just sent them to Mexico. In like the
Wasn't that with like
around-
when the DACA was getting revoked? Like
I
all
think it
these
was, like,
kids that were born
well,
here.
The way y'all
I
are
wasn't talking about that. I think I was talking about like I think it was like World War One ish.
We gotta address the way you guys are saying these words. She's over here saying DACA, and you're down there
Sorry.
saying Mexican. I can't even say what you were saying.
Mexican?
What?
DACA.
I think it's
Wait, how are you supposed to say it? Is it DACA?
DACA. Yeah, it's DACA.
DACA. I don't
It's
know.
DACA.
It's not DACA.
DACA.
It's not
Yeah,
DACA.
it's DACA.
It's not
It's
DACA.
an acronym. It doesn't really matter.
I suppose.
And as soon as you
But
do,
you know what we could do?
W
We could
this
do really
round.
pedantic and get into GIF or GIF.
Is
It's GIF.
Yeah.
GIF. Oh my God, Kenny! You,
okay. I do it by popular. I do it by popular demand. By popular demand, it is GIF, but by the creator, it is GIF. But I don't care.
I don't care what the creator has to say. The creator is
Just
wrong.
general consensus.
No,
The creator is wrong.
We don't care what
DACA, in general consensus.
speaking of GIFs, though, donate.
you can donate $1. I don't care who you are. You can donate $1.
Once
Donald
I
Trump donates
once I get out of this rural area, once I like go back to school or whatever, I guess I'm gonna try to do my own live streams and my own stuff like this. But poor internet, rural area. So
We're gonna start doing them more often.
Gotta get that Tesla, that SpaceX Starlink.
you know what? I'm so desperate. I might just be like, yeah, sure.
Like, there's no reason you can't do these more often, honestly. Maybe not this many people or this long, like from 5 to 11, but like.
Yeah,
Well,
if you all wanted to join and just do them whenever
We were
everyone had
thinking of doing,
time.
like quarterly. So
What's from 5 to 11? It's only 4 p.m. here.
Oh, Eastern time.
Oh,
Yeah, we're on the East. Oh, I'm on the East.
East Coast is
Yeah.
lame.
Oh,
I
the West
never figured
Coast.
out why we're not getting donations. I don't see a donation button.
The East Coast does suck. I will
I'll
confirm.
be a big part of it.
There it is. I found it. Yeah, so if you're on mobile too, you have to click on where it says "Know Your Rights Camp COVID Relief Charity," and then it pops up donation link and charity. So if you're an old boomer like me, that's how you do that.
You are not a boomer. You're a millennial.
I don't know.
Oh, hashtag millennial moment.
Let's be honest.
It took
Crazy beard's a
I'm like
boomer.
right on the line. I'm like the
Yeah.
oldest. I'm like the oldest Gen Z, the youngest.
Right?
Wait, how old are you?
24, so I was 96.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
25, so
Okay, yeah, and so like
I'm turning 22 this
yeah,
summer.
because Gen Z
Oh.
we're like
technically starts on
zennials
97.
or
Yeah, I'm turning 22.
post-millennials.
We're part of the we're part of the good. Yeah, we're part of the good part of
You
Gen
guys
Z.
think you're all on the line. I was born in 1997. I am the line. I am the dividing line.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Sometimes the line is 1997.
Wait,
where
like,
you're
who, like, who,
millennial.
who,
Sometimes
what
it's
is
1996.
what is this based off of? Like, is it like every 10
Every
years?
like
Like, what is
15ish.
Something like that, and then they say that like Gen Z grew up with the internet, but like I didn't really grow up with the internet. I had
we didn't have like a computer that accessed the internet until I was probably like maybe like 10, like that I
Like
could use
Paint
regularly.
And that
Yeah, that was
pinball
pretty much how it
game.
was for me.
That
Yes,
was
I played pinball all the time.
If you're Gen Z, you grew up playing Flash games on like Disney.com or something.
no, we
Like I
played-
could do that.
Oh yeah.
We played pinball, and then there was those flip phones that had the internet on it, but like you didn't. Like,
Yeah, you could if you went on the internet, it would charge you.
Cards,
Yeah.
And you were like,
Yeah, at that time, they were charging crazy.
It was like expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now it's free. I want my money back.
this was like
I remember, like,
like when Facebook came out. I was in middle school.
Yeah,
Like,
I
still
wasn't
on
old
MySpace.
enough. I wasn't old enough for Facebook, so I'd like put a fake year on for my Facebook
I was
page.
actually a freshman in high school when Facebook came out.
Were you really? I was probably.
I was probably in like
middle- I wasn't
fifth
allowed to
or
have
sixth
them.
grade.
Facebook came out. Wait, Facebook came out like 2004, right?
No, it was way
I thought It
later.
came out in like 2006.
It might have came out, but it was like nothing for.
It wasn't like it was
I remember when
popular
iPhone
for a
came
while.
out.
I don't
remember
even. I,
Wow.
Oh my god, y'all are like. It was almost like an. It was almost like.
You know what's what? I didn't know.
It was like
I
iPhone.
literally didn't know about the iPhone.
Yeah.
I didn't find out about the iPhone until like 8th grade when it was like the iPhone 4.
Well, and they weren't like pressure
Yeah.
sense, so you'd be sitting there like trying to push it, and they're like, "No, it's heat sense." And I was like,
Yeah.
"What?
I had one of those. You
What
remember
you
the
mean?"
sidekicks? I had one of those sidekicks, one that like swiveled.
Hey, Chris,
Oh, yeah, I had this
create a PayPal
Those
account.
razor flip
no,
phones
if
that
you
would
go on
break.
mobile, you click the donation
Dangle.
link. It has a PayPal button at the top, but you don't have to hit the PayPal button. You can just hit like a picture of like a Visa card or like the Amex
Yeah.
card. Click on
It
that.
made me
No, go back, click on the link again, I'm gonna tell you because I'm doing it right now. Crazy weird.
It's a boomer moment.
No, because PayPal kind of sucks.
Yeah, you don't have to make a PayPal account. You just have to click on the link, and then it says like use a PayPal account. And it's like got it selected, but if you click on the card, like the pictures of like a Visa card and stuff like that, then it'll let you enter your card information.
Keep my
Kirby.
baby Herbie.
I still have that. You pulled that up, like you have that on your shelf still.
Yeah, I like to. So he looks a little zooted. I keep the eyelids like halfway.
I remember I used to have a Furby. Those are so weird.
I can't believe you still have that.
Do Americans have Nokia? Yes, that's a big
Nokia?
brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's not that
The ones that
popular
you can like
anymore, but
throw
we
like
have-
in a nuclear.
Yeah,
and
everyone
they
Yeah, you can like
knows-
put them on a train line and it'll like derail the train rather than break the phone.
Everyone knows
Yeah.
what a Nokia is in America. We at least know the ringtone.
Or Motorola.
Yeah, they kind of lost popularity in like
Did
2000.
you see the Razer actually came out with a smartphone that kind of flips? I
I
don't,
would snap
they
it
came
so
back-
easily. It's just
I don't know.
I have that.
I
They-
saw
they-
that.
Break it.
They made a Motorola Razr smartphone, and there's like a setting where it would have it like the old layout from like when it was like the physical.
Really? I remember they were the coolest phone when they came out, the Razer. It was like
You know-
a phone to have.
I was too like
I was
poor
actually
growing up,
looking-
so I had like a track phone. I'd buy minutes for so I could text people, and it was like 10 cents a text.
Oh, like the Cricket Mobile.
See,
Yeah.
I never had. I had one that slid up, but it slid up and had numbers. So then I would still have to like type like the
T9.
like like it sucks so bad.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like a
we got good-
Motorola.
I eventually got really good at like texting on the T9.
Yeah.
I'm planning to go back.
And then I
looking
got
at
one that
that
slid up
one.
that had an actual keyboard, but it slid like upwards, not sideways. And I wanted one that slid sideways.
Honestly, being communist, we probably should have burner phones. I feel like that's a rite of passage.
Didn't have
Yeah, we
iPhone,
probably should.
you know.
Man, I don't need a burner phone. What they gonna do? Arrest me?
Yes.
Well,
I think
For real.
about it. I'm like, am I on the list?
But you
You're definitely on the list.
I wonder how much energy they put into like surveilling communists versus like surveilling Muslims. I feel like they're more worried about surveilling Muslims and that kind of thing now.
okay.
No, they don't gotta worry about that no more. They have
Credit card
TSA
back.
to handle that.
TSA.
Choose your country.
Like,
TSA loves to harass.
Well, we're doing this stream. I need
Scroll.
to think of a
That's the
prompt for
very
my
bottom.
next video because I haven't uploaded anything.
For
For
what?
your video,
About
what
what?
should we talk about? Talk about the banning video games. I think that is such a dumb. It's like every 5
Wait,
years.
who's banning
In
it?
Chicago, there were so many carjackings that the Democratic representatives like, you know what, we're gonna put a ban on all violent video games that cause like psychological or physical harm, including GTA and like literally any game that could fall under that category.
Oh, so they want war. Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's great because it's video games. It's not like bad material conditions. The fact that we don't have any stimmies. No.
Okay. Okay. That's a good idea.
I have to put it to my bank.
You should look into it though. Like the bill
They've
is
been
just
talking
it's so
about that
bad.
for years. Like, it kind of died down for a while, but
I
I mean,
honestly
that was
don't
because-
have to look into it because basically all I have to do for that is this is a distraction from real issues.
Yeah, it's really lazy legislation and it's a waste of
I'm gonna turn my
taxpayer
camera on. now.
dollars to even have to go through the process where it's gonna get shut down.
I always wonder if they think it's a real issue or if they're just kind of like, you know, wasting their own time, you know, filling time. Like, do they
Mhm.
really think that it's going to help things?
They're like, I did this. I worked. And
They
because
don't
even
know
if it
what
goes
the-
down to percent, they'll be like, look, it helped.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Lori Lightfoot is this.
Yeet.
I did have to eat that.
Okay, so I guess I'll draw a man at a podium pointing at video games and then in the background homeless people and people dying. Got it good.
All right.
Slap that on
Oh,
something.
it sounds like we got a donation, but I don't see anything. So
Did
hold
it lag
on.
out?
Hold on.
That might have been me changing my mic.
No, it was like a fancy Streamlabs noise. Oh, yeah, we did get a donation from Stalin _4 _time donated $1.
Woo!
So thank
Oh, they
you.
used to talk more about Stalin.
Yeah. I'm assuming that was probably Crazy Beard, to be honest.
It's interesting.
Hello, Ty.
A load of there is a link, weirdly, between people who commit mass murder and
You
World
can't
of
do
Warcraft.
anything.
What?
Which isn't a particularly like violent video game, but what it is it's immersive, and it's not that it creates killers. It's that it immerses people in their own world, which a lot of things do. Like 4chan also does that. It just immerses you in a world with a load of other people who are just like you, and which can obviously be really dangerous because you're not exposed to other ideas. And that was like the link between them. So be careful of people pointing to that and going, well, actually.
We got Tylini donated $10 today,
Yes.
so thank you. It's Tylini to you.
Kristen, Angie saying your mic's really loud.
Yeah, it's because mine is loud since I'm doing the stream thingy. I think
Kristen's
it's
a gamer.
louder. But I turned it down. So hopefully it shouldn't be too bad.
So what are we waiting for? You have Huey and then...
We had all our people here.
Oh, do you want me to leave?
Yeah.
Get out.
And then Stalin _4time donated another $1. So thank you for that.
Wait, what time is it EST?
It is
It's
6:01.
6 o'clock.
So although time is a bourgeois construct and I don't pay any heed whatsoever, I am going to bounce so that other people can get back in. But I will be back later on. It's 1 a.m. my time that I have to be back. I don't know what time it is your time.
I think
but
you're doing the 8 p.m.
Sleep, so
8 p.m. Is it?
I think it's 8.
When it becomes like
so that's
2 hours. 2 hours for now.
Everybody, yeah. All right. I will see you later on.
See you
Enjoy.
later.
I will be watching.
All right. It's only 4 p.m. for me.
it's only 4 p.m.
It's 6
Tay,
p.m.
your internet is like
We can't hear you, Tay.
we can't hear you. Your internet is pretty.
You might have to, it might be easier to turn off your video
Yeah,
so you can have
might
Yeah.
be possible.
But we can't hear you, so I don't know.
it's so- What's your MB, Huey?
My what?
Megabytes or whatever per second?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
It's like mine is like 3 or something.
Hold on, I can do a speed test real quick.
Okay, we just got another donation from Chloe. Donated $5. Thank you,
Yes.
Chloe. Look, we're getting all the donations
you
during
asking for download
our
or
time
upload?
slot.
It's because we're the best.
Yes.
That seems fairly obvious.
But I
I
think
have none
it's
to
because people didn't understand how the donation thing worked.
I
but it
have
seems
none
like
to do today, so I guess I'll just stay around.
Yeah, wait, Star, are you asking for my upload or download?
Download.
My
we just got
download's
another
354.
donation. Tay_has_McDonald's Wi-Fi donated $1. Thanks, Tay.
Yeah, my download is 354 megabits per second.
Okay.
Oh my
no
gosh,
need to-
Socialist Girl donated $192.64.
What?
Yeah,
Boy,
that's
you
what it
rich.
says. I don't know. Thank you so
Whoa.
much for the donation.
Is that Angie?
Yeah.
Damn.
We don't have a donation bar, unfortunately, but we're just gonna donate our everything. I guess. I don't know.
Is
Alice
there-
has control over that, so I think tomorrow probably.
Does the Vanguard have like a Twitch?
Who?
Do y'all have like a Twitch or whatever?
We don't have a Twitch. Well, we have a Twitch, but we don't use it.
Yeah, y'all should probably set that up.
Server boost, voice and video.
It sucks, but it's still good
Yeah,
enough to
I
be
figure
honest.
Angie said it's the conversion messed up because since she lives in Australia, I don't know how much she donated in like whatever their currency is. What do they have? Do you guys know?
The Australian dollar.
Is it just
was it not
Australian dollar?
USD?
Yes, AUS Australian dollar.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what that translates to.
That one Australian dollar is 77 cents USD.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess is around 150
Yeah.
Australian dollars.
Still
what
very
it seems like.
based.
Yes,
No,
that is very. Thank you so much, Angie.
Okay.
Very based.
Is there anything specific that anybody wanted? I know we're still trying to
Okay.
have a little bit of technical difficulties with Tay.
I talked about this on live stream the other night. People's Star Wars rankings suck. Like, so badly. Like, some Star Wars rankings I've seen are the worst I've ever seen.
I don't know if I've ever sat down and actually ranked them.
You've never...
I mean, but let's be honest. Star Wars is kind of trash. Like Star Trek is far superior.
I've only watched a few
What are
episodes
you
of Star
saying?
Trek, so I can't really say much
I mean,
of
like,
a bad.
I
I
would
do
down
like
the
Star
show.
Wars though. I have been. I think
I'm not gonna-
Mandalorian is my favorite, like anything Star Wars though. Like the Mandalorian.
Yeah, Star Wars is alright, but Star Trek is much better.
No, it isn't.
We're not
Yes, it is.
going to go into that argument. My point is,
No, but it
really
is.
is.
Like,
is that the prequels
Yeah,
here's
no.
the point is here's a weird thing is like since we're just gonna go into Star Wars, the reemergence of the prequels as being popular, and then like them like other people shitting on the sequels is very dumb to watch.
Oh,
The
yeah.
so dumb.
sequels are
It's so dumb.
enjoyable movies. They're enjoyable enough. They're like okay sci-fi movies,
My
but they act like they're masterpieces.
I just like because like the thing is that I like the prequels. The thing I hate about the sequels is that I just hate Kylo Ren so much. I cannot
love him.
stand him.
I love them.
Kylo Ren was not the worst part of those.
Well,
love
it could be
Kylo Ren.
because I love Han Solo so much.
Okay,
Yeah, but his death-
that's
his
your
death-
bias.
But his death was beautiful.
No,
I mean, to
it
be honest-
wasn't. And we got Jonah as a lib donated $1.
Go fuck yourself,
Woo!
crazy beard. There we go. He finally
Hey,
loaded. Let's see
Tay,
if we can hear
Can
him.
you talk? See if we hear you.
Yeah,
Oh, we hear you.
Yes.
I know how to talk.
You're kind of quiet though, so let me turn it
That's
up.
fine. Who's got the echo?
Ah,
I
See,
think it's me.
yeah, but like, what's it? I only like the sequels because John Boyega.
Oh, I
Uh,
love
I-
him. I love him.
I
But they
love
really
the
screwed
sequels,
with his
but they
character.
ruined
He
it.
doesn't
Yeah,
have
they
like
ruined his
anything.
character.
Crazy beard, I blame you for everything because it would be the least surprising thing to see that you made a donation in my name, so calling me a lib.
I just wish that because like they made it so that like Finn was like a force sensitive stormtrooper,
Yeah,
right? But then they did nothing with it. Like nothing.
He was never
What I
like
think
he was kind of forced.
Is that the
He was
That
definitely
I
force
think the-
sensitive.
no? They no. Movie basically confirmed it, and that's what he was trying to say. But they basically cut his plot in the third movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can definitely tell.
Well, I mean, that also comes from just the trilogy itself, the sequels being extremely disjointed with the directors.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't believe that. I actually don't.
How do you
I believe
not
in the
believe
third
that?
one? No, I think in the third one, I think if they made the third one better, it would have just like like made it together. Except for like they were so focused on dealing with the backlash, is that they did not make it cohesive.
Well, my
are we doing an
complaint-
introduction?
Oh yeah, we can do introduction. Go ahead. Go
We
Tay.
forgot about that.
Yeah. I guess that's probably a good thing to do. Go Tay, you
Yeah,
can go first.
No, I didn't want to go first.
Oh, okay. Jonah,
go
you can go
first.
first.
I'll go first. My name is Jonah. I'm part of the Socialist Type House / the Vanguard. I don't really know where we're at with that these days. I'm an eco-Marxist. I like Star Wars, and I'm tired.
We got star_trek_is_trash donated $1.69.
Who said that?
Thank you for that.
Can you ban them from the stream?
No. I'll go next. Oh, Hungry Rye donated $1. She said Jonah Renegade.
No.
Jonah said no.
What? There's $1 there.
I'm Kristen. I'm also with the Vanguard / Socialist Hype House, whatever you want to call us. I just consider myself an orthodox Marxist, and that's it.
Nice.
Sick.
I guess I could go. Well, does anyone else want to go?
No, you can go, Tay. I'll go after
You
you.
sure?
I'm
Yeah, because we already went. We just staying here.
All right. I'm Tay, and I am a huge advocate for human rights. I am mainly a socialist, but just like Black Panther socialist, original Black Panthers.